Haunted story, I got you. Watch how a landlady sacrifices her tenants just to get a demonic child. Welcome to my page. Like, subscribe and comment. Today on Block 39. When Coyote's family moved into the compound at the end of Ogunlana Street. He wasn't very happy. The house looked old. The gate was bent like it had been hit by something heavy. The walls were cracked, and the paint had peeled off like old yam skin. There was a mango tree in the middle of the compound, but it had no mangoes, not one. Just dry leaves. But the rent was cheap, and Coyote's parents said they had no choice. We'll manage it for now, his mum said, trying to smile. Things will get better. As they entered the compound, a woman was waiting by the well. She wore a black wrapper, a red scarf on her head, and old slippers that made a flapping sound. Her skin was dark and dry like burnt wood. She held a bunch of old keys in one hand, and her other hand trembled like it wanted to grab something. She smiled, but it was not a friendly smile. I am Mama Ebo, she said. I take care of the compound. Coyote's dad shook her hand. You are welcome, she continued, her eyes shining like glass. But listen well. Don't drink from the well after. 6 p.m. don't stand under the mango tree at night. And whatever happens, never, ever open your door if someone knocks 3 times. Coyote blinked. His mum laughed nervously. Ah, Mama Ebo, you like to scare people, oh. Mama Ebo didn't laugh. She just turned and walked back to her small flat beside the well. The first few days were quiet. Coyote made a few friends on the street, but he didn't like staying in the compound for long. It always felt like something was watching. Sometimes he'd look out the window and see the well bubbling, even when no one had touched it. At night, the compound was too silent. Even when the power was on, the lights flickered. The generator made strange sounds. The air felt heavy, like it was holding its breath. Then the strange things started happening. It started small. One night, around 2 a.m., Coyote woke up to a sound. Knock, knock, knock. 3 knocks on their front door. His parents didn't move. The house was dark. He slowly got up and tiptoed to the window, peeking out through the curtain. No one. He waited. Then he heard it again, this time inside the house. Knock, knock, knock. He turned sharply. The sound came from the wall of his room. The wall didn't connect to anything. Just the fence. He ran to his parents' room. They said it was a dream. But Coyote knew what he heard. Over the next few days, Coyote began to notice things. Things nobody talked about but everyone seemed to know. Like how Aunt Ngozi, the quiet woman who always wore white, only came out at night. She would sweep the compound in silence, and then stand by the well, humming a sad song. One night, Coyote heard her whispering to the water, "Brother, don't forget me." When he told his mum, she warned him, "Don't look at things that don't concern you." Then there was Mr. Jide, the man who lived alone in the far left flat. He never talked, never smiled, and never blinked. Coyote watched him once, just to check. 30 minutes. No blink. One evening, Coyote greeted him. "Good evening, sir." The man turned slowly and said, "You're the new one. Don't sleep too deeply. It might not be you who wakes up." Coyote stopped greeting him after that. And there was the baby. There was no baby in the compound. No family with one. But some nights, always past midnight, Coyote would hear crying. Soft, like it was far away, but clear. Crying and then giggling. The giggling didn't sound like a baby at all. It sounded old. And angry. Then came the well. Coyote was outside one evening when niic took light. He bent down to fetch water from the big bucket near the well. As he stood up, he saw something. A hand. Pale, thin fingers were reaching up from the inside of the well. But when he blinked, it was gone. Just still, black water. He ran inside. He told his dad what he saw. His dad got angry. "Don't start talking nonsense in this house." But Coyote noticed his dad started fetching water only in the daytime after that. One morning, Coyote asked one of the street boys about Mama Ebo. The boy looked around carefully and whispered, "She used to be different." "What do you mean?" "She had a daughter," the boy said. "A long time ago. They said the child was born with teeth. The villagers called her a spirit child, an ogbanj. Mama Ebo refused to let them take the girl away. What happened? The girl vanished one night. Nobody found her. But the next week, children started going missing. One by one. All of them lived in this compound. Coyote's mouth went dry. What happened to the compound? The boy leaned closer. One woman said she saw Mama Ebo talking to someone that wasn't there, feeding it from the well. They tried to chase her away, but the night they came to burn the house down, all of them disappeared. Since then, she stayed. The compound listens to her. Ko didn't ask again, but something inside the compound was changing. The walls started breathing at night, soft creaks like sighs. Footsteps echoed across the courtyard with no one outside. And every night, like clockwork, knock, knock, knock. 3 knocks on a random door. Never answered. Never explained. But Ko began to wonder, what would happen if someone answered? The knocking didn't stop. Every night, 3 knocks. Never more. Never less. Sometimes on the front door. Sometimes on the windows. Sometimes from inside the walls. No one ever opened. But one night, someone did. It was past midnight. Rain fell softly. The power had gone hours ago, and the compound was dark and silent. Ko was awake, holding his flashlight. He'd grown used to the knocking by now. Not because it didn't scare him, but because it always went away. That night, the knock came again. Knock, knock, knock. But this time, it wasn't on his door. It was on Ngoza's. He sat up, slowly crawled to the window. The rain made it hard to see, but he made out a shape. A short one. It looked like a child, standing outside Ngoza's flat. The knock came again. Then, the door opened. Ngoza stood in the doorway, her wrapper soaked from the rain. She looked down at the child and smiled. "I've been waiting for you." She held out her hand, and the child took it. Then the door shut. Ko stared. The air turned colder. His flashlight flickered. From my inside Ngoza's flat, he heard giggling, soft and sharp like cracked glass. Then it stopped. In the morning, Ngozi was gone. Her door wide open. All her things inside, untouched. Her phone still on the table. Pot of rice still warm on the stove. But she was gone. And nobody, not even Mama Ebo, said anything about it. After that, everything started to change. The air in the compound got heavy, like it was watching. The mango tree, which had never dropped fruit, began to drop 1 mango a night. Only 1. And every time it hit the ground, it would roll toward someone's door. One rolled toward Mr. Jide's door. The next day, he was sitting in his chair as usual, but his eyes were wide open, and flies buzzed around his mouth. He was dead, but his body didn't rot. It just sat there, watching. Another night, the mango rolled toward a visiting uncle from flat 2. He packed his bags before morning and left without a word. Ko asked his mum about the mangoes. She said they hadn't seen any. But Ko saw, and so did the compound. At the back of the compound, behind the well, was a door no one talked about. It had no number, no handle, just 3 long scratch marks across the wood. Ko had always felt something behind it. Then, one night, it was open. He didn't mean to go close. But the door, it was calling. The inside smelled of dust and old things. A staircase led downward, deep into the ground. The walls had names scratched into them. Names he recognized. Ngozi, Jide, and then, at the bottom, Ko'. He stepped back. That's when he heard it, a voice, soft and angry. "You were chosen, like the others." He turned and ran. The door slammed behind him. Long before the compound became haunted. Long before the mango tree grew without fruit. Before the well turned black. There was Amarachi. That was Mama Ebo's real name. She was young once, full of laughter, full of dreams. She lived in the same compound, back when it was new. The walls were white. The well gave clean water. People cooked together, shared stories, and raised their children side by side. Amarachi was known as the heart of the house. She had a daughter named Adarora. From the day Adarora was born, strange things happened. Chickens refused to lay eggs. Rain fell only on the compound, never the street. Adeora's eyes glowed in the dark, and her baby teeth came out before she could crawl. People whispered, "Ogbanj," they said. "She's a spirit child." But Amarachi refused to believe it. She said, "She's my blessing, my only child. If she leaves me, I will follow." When Adeora was 5, she started disappearing, sometimes for minutes, sometimes for hours. She'd be found outside the well, laughing to herself. When asked who she was talking to, she'd say, "The woman in the water. She's teaching me things." The neighbors warned Amarachi. The dibia, herbal priest, was called. He examined the girl and said, "She belongs to something ancient. If you don't let her go, it will come instead." Amarachi screamed at him, "Nobody is taking my child." That night, the dibia was found dead near the compound gate with his eyes missing. Adeora vanished 3 nights later. Amarachi was never the same. She stopped speaking. She stopped eating. She sat by the well for weeks, whispering into the water, "Bring her back. I'll do anything." And something answered. The well bubbled. A voice came from inside, deep, smooth, not human. "If you feed me, I will fill the house with her again." That night, the mango tree grew for the first time. By morning, 3 children were gone. The people fled the compound. But Amarachi stayed. She fed the well. She cared for the house. She watched. The house changed her. Her skin darkened, her hair turned white, her fingers twisted like dry sticks. Her voice echoed even when she was silent. Her eyes stopped blinking, and the house began to live. Years passed. People came and went. Some vanished. Some left before the tree chose them. Some were claimed. But Amarachi, now called Mama Ibo, stayed. She walked barefoot at night. She sang to the walls. She whispered to the tree. She dropped meat in the well. And she waited, because the house was feeding her something. Pieces of Adeora. Every child taken, every family broken, the house gave her back a little more. A giggle, a tiny footstep, a humming song, a shadow in her bed. But Adeora was never whole. She was scattered, until Kaode came. The next morning, Kaode saw Mama Ibo sitting near the well, talking to herself. Except she wasn't talking to herself. She was feeding something. A small bowl of red meat, which she dropped into the well. Kaode hid and listened. "I've kept your house fed," she said to the well. "Just like I promised. Only one more, then we'll be whole again." The well made a bubbling sound. Then a small hand, a child's hand, reached up and grabbed the edge of the well. It wasn't pulling itself out. It was waiting. That day, Kaode didn't eat. He couldn't sleep. He remembered what the street boy said about Mama Ibo's child, the one who was born with teeth, and vanished. He went back to the boy. "Tell me more." The boy hesitated. People said she made a deal. She loved that child more than anything. So when the girl vanished, she called something else into the world. Something old. Something hungry. She feeds it. Kaode asked. The boy nodded. "Anyone who lives in that house belongs to it, unless you leave before the tree drops a mango for you." Kaode's heart stopped. The next morning, there was a mango at their door. The last night, Kaode begged his parents to leave. They didn't listen. Because of one fruit. His dad laughed. But that night, the compound was silent. Too silent. The lights flickered. The well hissed. And then, knock, 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 on their door. His dad got up to open it. Kaode screamed, "Don't!" But the door was already open. There was nothing there. Just fog. Then the fog entered the house like it had feet, like it was alive. The lights went out. Kaode saw shapes in the fog. One with no face. One that looked like Ngozi. One that looked like him, but smiling with no eyes. They grabbed his parents. He heard them laughing and crying at the same time. He ran. Out of the house. Past the tree. Past the well. But the gate was gone. Only wall. Behind him, he heard Mama Ibo's voice, louder and deeper than before. "You've fed the house well, my daughter. One more, and we rise." Kaode turned. Mama Ebo stood under the mango tree. Her arms were too long. Her face wasn't her face anymore. It was stretching, changing, becoming like two people at once, her and a girl. Her eyes were glowing red. Her feet didn't touch the ground. The compound was alive, the walls pulsing, the well bubbling, the tree twisting. Kaode screamed. The spirits swarmed. Everything went black. The morning after, people on Ogunlana Street said they heard nothing. But when they came to Block 39, the compound was empty. Every flat open. Every item left behind was as if everyone just disappeared. No sign of Kaode, or his parents, or anyone else, except Mama Ebo. She was sitting by the well, as usual, her scarf neat, her smile kind. A man passing by greeted her. "Good morning, Mama." She looked up slowly. "You're looking for a house." The man hesitated. "Just browsing." She held up a key. She held up a key. "Cheap rent. Clean water. Safe place." The man looked inside. "Looks quiet," he said. Mama Ebo smiled. "Yes," she whispered. "For now." In the belly of the compound where the stairs led under the house, the spirits danced. Their eyes glowed. Their mouths smiled too wide. Kaode stood among them. He wasn't dead. Not yet. The compound was holding him, testing him, seeing if he was the final piece. And Mama Ebo stood above, waiting. Her arms spread wide. Her many hands clutching keys and bones and wrappers soaked in night. The house was ready. The well boiled. The tree dropped a mango, black not yellow. Adeora's voice whispered from everywhere at once. "Here's the last. If you take him, I can come home." Mama Ebo cried. She opened her arms. The spirit swirled. But Kaode, though weak, shaking and terrified, did something none of them expected. He spoke. "I'm not yours," he said. "She's not your daughter anymore. You let her go. You brought a monster instead." For the first time in years, Mama Ebo hesitated. Her eyes blinked. Her mouth twitched. The wind stopped. The tree stilled. The well went silent. And Adeora screamed. Not like a girl. Like a demon. Like the thing inside her had been caught. The shadow of Adeora twisted and turned. The face cracked like clay. The eyes exploded with fire. The compound shook. Cracks ran across the walls. The well split. The mango tree caught fire. Mama Ebo turned to smoke. The spirits wailed. And Kaode ran. By morning, Block 39 was gone. Not destroyed. Just gone. In its place was empty land. Flat. No trace of gates or walls or wells. People said there was never any house there. But some of the old ones remember. They cross the street when they pass that land. They never speak its name. And sometimes, when it rains at night, people say they hear something. Children, singing softly. Who is in the room with you? Who is in the dark? Leave the door a little wide, and feel the devil knock. And in the puddles, they see a red mango, floating, waiting. The end. If you were Kaode, what would you do? Thanks for watching. See you in my next video, white smiling face hash.